Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. So today I've got my client Donna in. She's my first client back. I started working today, so I had my first client in. Donna is a regular of mine and she comes in and says, yeah, just do what you want. Can I just have something Christmassy? So that's what we're doing for her today. So I'm starting off here with, I think it's Bear to Dare. Yeah, I think it's Bear to Dare, and then I'm putting on Elf at the tip and just blending that back. No, actually it's Frosted Rose and Elf, that's what it is. And then I'm just adding a white snowflake. And then I go ahead and do exactly the same to the pointer finger. So on this finger I was going to put a snowflake right on the tip, but it just wouldn't sit still, wouldn't sit flat. So I eventually ended up removing it after putting a bit more acrylic on and then scooping it off, and I just placed another small snowflake further up like I did on the previous finger. I'm going to encapsulate these two fingers now with crystal glass. I've been using my Love by CJP brush today because Donna only has small fingers and she wears them quite short. So I'm using a smaller brush, but I did have to switch to my Gemma Porch brush because my poor little Love by CJP brush is on its last legs. I could do with getting a new one. So this ring finger, I'm going to be doing a candy cane. Now, when I come to cut it like this with a cotton, the look on my client's face when I did it, because she had no idea what I was doing with the cotton. But yeah, I always like to cut with a cotton, so I've got a nice clean cut, and it's cut down on my filing. So I've just left that now to set a little bit and moved on to the middle finger, and I've just done a full white finger on this one, and I've going to cover it with Wonderland and then put a snowflake in the centre of the nail. With these larger snowflakes that I'm applying here, I do bend them a little bit so they sit a bit flatter on the nail. So the first section of this candy cane, I am going to keep it simple because they're not very big nails. So I'm just going to use one strip here, and this is Smashed Emeralds, and just put a thin strip and then put some crystal glass over the top just to cap it. And I'm using my brush to strain it up. And now I've come back to the middle finger and I'm going to encapsulate this finger. And I'm going to be doing exactly the same on the thumb as I did on the middle finger. Now this is where my brush started playing up a little bit, so you'll see that this application isn't very good. I do get a bit of product on the skin, and like I said in a couple of videos ago, it's not very good to do this. So if you do, you want to tidy up as quick as possible. And I do wash my clients' hands as soon as I possibly can with a water bottle that I do in the room to remove all products, traces of products. But yeah, this is down to the brush, really, the brush that I'm using. It's I don't know why, but it's just started off okay, and then halfway through it just I don't know, just sort of went all weird on me. So I did change my brush, like I said, to the Gemma Porch one. I'm not sure whether I did it on this hand or the next hand, I'm not sure. But I do change it over because I was struggling a little bit with this brush, because I think it's time for a new one. I do use this brush quite a lot on smaller fingers, smaller sets, because it is a smaller brush. So yeah, I'm just finishing off the thumb there, and now I'll come back to that ring finger and I'm going to put another strip of white in a minute. I'm doing something. What am I doing? Yep, here it goes. Here's a strip of the white. So I'm keeping these strips, the white strips, quite thick. So it's makes the colours pop a bit more, I think. The next strip that I do is going to be Smashed Rubies. So I'm just going to fill in a bit more with that white because there was a little chunk missing at the top. So I'm just following that line that I've already cut and just filling in that little tiny gap that I had at the top. And now I'm going to put on the Smashed Rubies, and again I'm going to put another thin layer line of this, and then use crystal glass to cap this line. And then just fill in the very tip with the Snow White. I'm not sure whether I showed this on camera or not. We'll find out later on. But when I did file this nail through, it did look really thin and flat. So I did come back with some crystal glass just to build the structure a little bit, because I didn't want them to snap. So I'm just going on to the filing here. This is my client's personal file, so I have a little bag that I keep all their stuff in. This is their file, goes back into their bag. So they've started off with a fresh file today, so I'm just filing all these nails, and my filing routine is always the same. where I start off with going around the free edge and then up the one side wall, around the cuticle, down the other side wall, and then across the top of the nail. Donna does like it very, very thin at the cuticle, so I do spend a lot of time now trying to get the cuticles as flat as I possibly can. And I put the apex more in the centre of the nail rather than the back of the nail, so it doesn't become too bulky at the back. Once I'm happy with the shape and everything, then I go over with a buffer block, and there I am just checking again. I'm always looking at the side of the nail and down the barrel of the nail at the shape, just to make sure it is the correct shape. So this one I'm just revealing with a hand file. I didn't feel the need to use my e-file today. CJP does file really easy, so I did all my filing today with this hand file. And like I said, once I'd revealed all these lines, it did look a bit thin, so I did make the decision to come back with some crystal glass, just to build that structure up a little bit so we don't get any snappages. There, I'm just spraying the nail with some gel residue wipe off solution, and what this does is take away all the dust and the dullness, so you can have a look at the lines to see if the lines are nice and crisp. And there was a bit of shadowing, so I went back with my hand file, and there I go again, spraying it again. And once I'm happy that there's no shadowing on there, I'll move on to the next nail. I just want to say as well that I'm not wearing any gloves. Donna is a regular client of mine, so you know, she's okay with me not wearing any gloves. We do wash. I have washed my hands and sanitized them, and Donna sanitized her hands as well. And I am wearing a face visor, a face shield. But like I said, she's more than happy for me to do her nails without the gloves on. So I've decided not to wear gloves because I'm always catching them with a file, especially if I'm using an e-file, and I tend to rip them to shreds. So because our hands are clean, because we both washed our hands and we both sanitized our hands, there's no real reason to wear gloves because our hands are clean. So yeah, that's why I'm not wearing any gloves in this video. And who else hates filing thumbs? I absolutely hate filing them. I hate filing my own thumbs. But here we go, I do exactly the same. They're just so difficult, aren't they, thumbs? What goes on with thumbs? You know, I mean, I like to make, like, because most people like put something plain on thumbs. When I'm doing my own thumbs, I like them to be, you know, a nice design, because when I'm doing videos, they're the ones that I mostly see. But yeah, I hate filing thumbs. Who's with me on that one? So here I'm just looking from the client's perspective, just to make sure that they're all straight and to check all the design, make sure there's no gaps and we're happy with all the design. I go over it again, any bits I see that I'm not happy with. I'm a bit out of shot, but this when I look at it from this view, it didn't look too bulky, but when I flipped it around, it did look quite thick at the cuticles. So I've come back in just to thin those out a little bit. I then asked the client if she's happy. She said she was, so I've dusted off. And yeah, I did leave it in. I'm putting a little bit more crystal glass on this finger, or on this nail rather, just to give it a bit more shape. Again, when I'm looking at it from this angle, it looked fine, but when I flipped a hand around, it did look really thin. So yeah, I made the decision to put crystal glass on there. So now we're on to top coating. So I'm using Time to Shine, and I give them all a nice generous layer, not too thick, not too thin, of this. And this top coat is a bit thicker, so it goes on really nice. And yeah, the shine lasts for ages. You know, every client with mine, and every client that's come back, they've all come back really shiny. So yeah, I really do like this top coat. So she pops her hands into the lamp, and I cured for 60 seconds, I think. Yeah, I think I did 60 seconds. Sometimes I do 2 minutes just to make sure, but I can't remember whether I did 60. I can't remember whether I did 1 minute or 2 minutes, but they come out all nice and cured and shiny anyway. So and then I just add a little bit of Naff Stuff cuticle oil, and I think I used cinnamon apple on this set, and that is the set complete. So hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. Hope you're all safe and well. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share some love in the comments box. I'd love to know what you think of these, and let me know how you all are. Hope you're safe and well, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video, which I will be putting up probably tonight, because I have filmed 3 sets today. So I'm going to try and get all 3 sets up. If I can't, I'll put up a couple tonight and the other one tomorrow. But I will speak to you really soon in that one. So for now, bye bye.